Hi, thanks for returning to Hearts Wide Open, where we tune in, listen to Spirit, and keep our hearts wide open. And so Spirit has a message. I was seeing I'm feeling a little, I just kind of sat and wanted to tune in, and I felt a little kind of like exhausted. Let me tell you what I saw. I saw a car, and I don't know if it was like a Cobra. It was a white car, small, but it kind of reminded me of a speed racer car, like a white sports car. But I saw those silver, the back seats, you know, like the headrest, and I heard it going put, 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 like it was running out of gas and it couldn't make it. It was on a track, like a coastline. I see these scenes like movies. And then I heard Running on Empty, which is Jackson Browne. So I don't know if there's some lyrics on that song. And I just kind of closed my eyes, said, Spirit, what else do you have for me? And I saw a black balloon that somebody took a pin to it and just popped it. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Somebody must be feeling, I think you're feeling like you're running on empty, running out of gas. And we are almost to the end of the year. New beginnings coming, if you look at it that way. New Year's 2026. You know, this has been the year of the snake, the wood snake, shedding our skin. Interesting, I thought it was a cobra on the car. And we're moving into the fire horse, into the horse, where we're going to gallop forward and pick up a little steam. And you know, cars have horsepower. So that's kind of cool too. I just want to see what the cards are showing. 2026 is a 10, new beginnings. It reduces down to a 1. So 2025 was a 9. We were rounding up, you know, letting go of any final resistance I'm hearing, or final lessons that have come back around the track, cycled back around, cycle, like a bicycle. Anyways, so gratitude is the emotion that just came out. Okay, so we're gonna go off that. I always try to remember to have gratitude even in the tough times. And I'm feeling a little lower energy last week, actually. Okay, so let's see what else the cards have to say about this. Let me just read gratitude real quick. Gratitude is an energy that attracts more abundance and joy. Magnetic. When you are grateful, you align your frequency with the universe. Let gratitude be a part of your life and remind you to focus on the beautiful things around you. I had this conversation with a friend this morning, how we could keep saying we're grateful, but it's what you feel inside, not necessarily. Words do matter, you know. I always say that words are spells, they do matter. But you have to truly go through experiences, I think, to finally see the light, like to finally realize what that experience brought you. So, okay, let's go back to the car and the putting and running out of gas. Putt, putt, putt. Like I was hearing putt, putt, putt. And see what else is hidden around this. What does the viewer need to hear? And I hope you enjoyed your days off if you had it, and if you celebrated Christmas. I like to say Merry Christ Mass, the Mass of celebrating Christ. Not everybody has the same beliefs, and just honoring that. Okay. Singing Stone. That took a while to come out. Even the cards are moving slow. Wisdom doesn't always speak in words. Some truths hum beneath your feet. Okay, I just said that. We could say we're grateful, we could say what we're feeling, but it doesn't always speak in words. It speaks in the hum, in the vibration that we're carrying, right? Within our hearts. Okay, what else do we need to know about running on empty? I'm getting refueled. Inspiration, I'm hearing. Look for things that inspire you. A quiet yes. You don't need to shout to say yes. Whispering is enough when it comes from the soul. Whispering. So if you don't have a lot of oomph, a lot of gasoline, a lot of energy even, you can whisper it. And, oh, there's a card flipped over again. Train departing. Not every ride is meant to wait for you. Sometimes missing it sets you free. Okay, well, there you go. So the trains are moving fast. And maybe this is a time, winter, it's okay to be in the hermit mode, to be a little less energetic. Giving yourself time to fuel up more for the next run. I'm seeing the horses, the powerful, the ground almost shakes when a horse runs by you. And it takes a lot of energy. Lightning branch. Sometimes your awakening doesn't bloom, it erupts. All right, so how does that fit in with all this? We had lightning here yesterday or the day before yesterday, I guess. And the lights flickered, the lights went out. Like the energy, the power went out and it flickered. So sometimes it's like a restart. I'm getting maybe a restart coming in. Okay, I'm going to switch to the Intuitive Whispers Oracle and see what else we get on this. What do we need to know around the new year and refueling? What else did I write here? Just running on empty, put, running out of gas. Look at how the viewer be inspired to fuel their tank. I better shuffle this. I'm going to shuffle them. I usually do as I'm sitting here and stuff, but it's always good to kind of get the energy out from the last reading. Call in the energy I'm feeling. I'm seeing water right now. I just saw a whale moving through the water, and whales are heavy. So maybe there's some heavy energy that you're trying to move through, and water's emotions. So it's kind of depleted you through, especially with the holidays. And sometimes we're feeling the collective energy. All right, the card that came out is Your Soul Knows. I'm going to read this. I love these cards, but the messages are short, and I don't want to miss anything for you. So listen to the whispers of your soul. And we've got whispering again. Beneath the layers of confusing thoughts and daily patterns of behavior, there is guidance that is helping to navigate your way through life. You might not always be aware or listening, but one way or another, it is guiding you to learn the lessons you are supposed to learn, grow in the ways you're supposed to evolve, and experience life just as you are. That is not to say you don't have a huge amount of choice in the way you live your life. You do, but you also have a supportive, guiding voice that is within you, whispering. Yeah, Spirit often whispers very silently. You can choose to follow the deep inner guidance. I was going to say the whale is deep underwater. The deep inner guidance, or push against it and make your life more challenging. Choose the supportive path and listen to the whispers. Okay, how does Spirit talk to you? Sometimes we've had all this hustle and bustle, running around for the holidays, for those celebrating Christmas, that you're just drained and you're not having enough downtime to actually hear the whispers. Go to a spa, like treat yourself, get a massage, take the time to relax, no guilt at all. Maybe somebody's feeling bad if they're not after doing so much. But you gotta trust your body. Okay, what else do we need to know on this? Release old patterns. Okay, yeah, release old patterns. That's what I was saying. Like, people that go, and they only feel worthy of what they're doing to get recognition for that. And releasing those patterns, knowing it's okay. If you run out of gas and you need to pull off on the side of the road, as a metaphor, so to speak, sit at a park, sit on the lawn, wait for AAA. You're just sitting, you're being. I don't know why that came in, AAA. Maybe somebody's initials have A's in them. I just thought of Archangel too, the A's. And we got activation with an 11, an angel number, crown activation. So that's receiving again the whispers from Spirit, from your higher self, your own guidance or your guides. Being able to receive that in the quiet zone. I don't know why I said it that way. Aren't there zones like speed limits on the road? This is all this theme I'm seeing, like racing, checkered flag and trying to rush to get to the finish line. Like the zone that you're in is maybe, go 25 while the children are out, or I don't know why I'm coming up with all these metaphors. Feel, don't think. So when you're doing, you're always thinking, and you're thinking of what you're doing. And Spirit's advising you to take time. Use the time while you're low energy to receive. Okay, but what is the message? I'm gonna shift again. I was gonna say switch. I'm gonna switch lanes. My daughter trimmed my hair. It's a little flat. Switch lanes here. Sacred Rebel, and look at, we got the Sacred Fool. Okay, it says we come out with the new year when you're ready. It doesn't have to be a date. You don't have to follow a calendar. I gotta cover that next time I do that. Some of these cards are beautiful art, but more than G-rated. Sacred Fool. The Fool in Tarot is ready to leap. It's a new beginning again. So that might mean something. It was at the bottom of the deck. All right, let me do a quick shuffle here. And while I'm doing this, Spirit, if you have anything else, any visions, I get a lot of visions. I'm pretty clairvoyant. I just saw, I think because of, she's wearing the court jester hat. In our family, we used to have this, quick show there. This set of balloons, they were for the cake. It was a candle. I don't even think they were candles. I don't think you lit them. I think it was just a festive cluster of balloons that would go on the cake. And we saved it every year and recycled it for this celebration. And the balloons are light, right? They keep it light, they're festive, they're fun. And I did see the black balloon. That's interesting, with the pin popping the black balloons. So now I saw the colored balloons. I feel somebody's going to be coming out of a quite depressive state. I've got these cards backwards. Maybe that means something. Okay. What is the outcome? What is it we're supposed to be receiving? Well, for each person, it's different. But what would be the main message here leading us into this new year? The year of the horse. See, my cards even, they don't want to flip out like usually. It's very slow moving. I'm seeing the snake, slow moving. Maybe it's a slow last week of the year. I saw my grandson has a corn snake. Sauron. Slithering. We're just slithering like the snake getting his last weekend. The last weekend, I didn't mean to say weekend. This last week in as the year of the snake. But I said end, which could be part of the ending. Okay, Spirit, if I'm supposed to be using another deck. Yeah, the mermaid just jumped out at me big time. All right. Pandora's gift. Makes me think of Pandora's box. What's going to be coming out of the box? And with this and the word Pandora, I am picturing the Jack in the Box, right? You know, the Jack in the Box. That's Pop Goes the Weasel. Yeah. Pop goes the weasel, but the Jack in the Box pops open, and maybe people are concerned about what's coming up for the next year, right? Pandora's gift. That's a 9, number 45, and she's thinking about putting this mask on. Yeah, which just turns into a butterfly. A lot of growth. Maybe people are hesitant, you know, there's been so much change. Every year it's just been like, since 2020, tower moment after tower moment. I don't know. I mean, I feel like the collective is going through this. And so maybe now we're like, okay, what's now for 2026, you know? And it's like, wait. So we got to be light like those colorful balloons. Yeah, this is a 6, shock of the new. I think, what if the collective, or, you know, is just anticipation. It's the word anticipation, anticipating possibly more chaos, more negative. You know, there's just so much information, so much there. And you know what? The music, you know, listen to yourself, not all the noise. See the speakers and the noise and all that. Just be your own sunflower, be your own sunshine, listen within, feel what Spirit has to say, and this is kind of the message, I think. Block out the noise. It's draining you. You're running out of gas. You're running out of gas. Yeah, okay, I'm going back to the mermaid here, not back. I'm going to go pull from the mermaid cards because that jumped out at me. And the mermaids love to give their message, especially being here on the coast with the ocean out there roaring. Okay, so final message for the viewer, for the collective, for me as well, for all of us, on how to navigate going into 2026 further with clearing out the noise, listening to our inner self. Yeah, I'm seeing a little girl dancing right now where there's hardwood floors and one of those braided rugs. I don't know if somebody has a braided rug in their house. My grandmother used to make those. And she could care less. She's just dancing. She didn't listen to the news and listen to all this stuff going on. Ooh, okay, well, the card is a 22 and it doesn't really fit in to what I'm talking about whatsoever that I can tell. Divine sensuality, making love erotica. Ooh, it's getting spicy. Okay, so obviously this is the root chakra, red, and the sacral, I said sacred, which is sacred, sacral chakra. So it's the lower chakras. I'm seeing roses. I don't know why that expression, and I don't know where it comes from. I've heard it before. Everything's coming up roses. These petals are just falling. And she's relaxed and sensuous, laying on, a bed of roses. Okay, isn't there a song? Bed of roses? I don't know how to type this in, so I'm going to grab the book. This reading's really long. I didn't really know where it was going to go when I saw the car. Or let's just, I'm curious now how this is going to tie in with your inner peace and receiving the whispers from spirit and feeling your energy. I mean, maybe somebody, needs a little fuel, needs a little ooh la la passion to fuel your fire. Maybe it's the fire, your lower chakras. You gotta maybe get something moving. All right. So making love erotica. Yes, the mermaids are protectors and champions of sexuality and freedom, allure, and power. To experience physical bliss is not a purely physical event. There's an intimate connection that connects people who make love or kiss or even just shake hands, who touch. And when we exchange this great intimacy with another, there is established between us a strong energetic connection. So it is wise to consider who we make love with and when and where and very much why. Okay, I'm getting why it's connected now. Let me finish reading. But there is also an undercurrent in our culture that still sees lovemaking, sensuality, and the love of the pleasure of the body and the celebration and elevation of that pleasure to an art as something that is laden and twisted with guilt. The tainted sexual beliefs of the medieval era, which led to a hatred of the body, of sexuality, and a demonization of women, are still with us in some ways. Even the sexualization of our bodies undermines our ability to make love, to pleasure ourselves, and to enjoy this great pleasure and joy that has been gifted to us. The mermaid has come to be a symbol of the temptress, the woman who wishes to draw men and lovers to her. And in many ways, she is the symbol of danger, and so it is with our sensuality. If you've drawn this card, it's likely you're ready to explore and dive into your own physical expression of bliss. It may be through making love with a cared for other, achieving greater intimacy in your relationships, or even experiencing blissful sensual moments while receiving a massage or dancing. Yeah, I mentioned that, like treat yourself in these downtimes. Or dancing. But this card encourages you to reconnect with the love of your natural physicality and to explore the pleasure your sensuality can bring to you, and to begin to understand and untangle any of the lingering cultural or personal guilt you may have about this. There are many beliefs in our culture, many taboos, that women who enjoy sexual feelings and evoke them in others are impure, courting danger, threatening to themselves and to other women, and dangerous to men. But the truth is, we all have a seductress within us, a mermaid-like being who dwells within our psyche and subconscious, who is able to show us how to pleasure ourselves and others, and how healing this sacred sensuality is and can be. So that took a left turn. And, or a right turn, because it's right, correct. Where I was going to say is the heaviness people might be feeling could be guilt and of certain things that have happened, maybe celebrations for the holidays, too many sips of something, to maybe other things. So it could be the guilt, but also you do have to be aware of who you touch and make contact with. And energy vampires could be draining to you. So there's many ways you can take that, and it's probably going to be different for everybody. But trust what you're feeling. Move the energy. and know that this too shall pass. Like this, you're going to keep moving. You're on track. Okay, so the car's moving, put, put, put. You're just temporarily out of gas, right? You're going to fill your tank again. Yeah. I'm just going to pull an emotional card, just one final card to try to tie this together as part of the final message for the outcome. What is the message that the viewer we're gonna close this out on? Spirit. Beautiful purple, resonance. And immediately this jumped out, my amethyst. It's beautiful crystal to sleep with, and it helps activate the third eye, brings a lot of peace. The violet flame also is very healing to work with, Saint Germain. So we've got this resonance card, and the message here is to fuel yourself, fuel your fire, like fill up your tank again with people that you're in resonance with. Anything that makes you feel good. Resonance is a deep connection with your thoughts, emotions, or experiences, aligning you with the universe's energy. When resonance appears, it reminds you of your connection with wisdom and your true self. All right. Blessings. Thank you for watching. Take care.